Hi, welcome to the part 2 of the JMP 1969 restoration. I've now mostly completed the work and I'm about to switch it on for the first time, so you can join me and watch for the magic smoke. So, work done. I haven't changed the filter caps yet, or the bias caps. More on that a little bit later. But you can see I've put in the correct 0.022 Mullard mustard caps for the phase inverter, and also for the grid of the phase inverter, these two tone caps, the tone stack. I've put in that 33k resistor. I've put in this 0.68 160 volt. I've put in that just behind it, hiding, there's a 500 PF for the treble, and it's the dog bone type what they used for the 69s. I've put in the split the cathodes for the super lead, put in the 2.7k cathode resistor. It's hiding under this cathode decoupling cap, 0.68 160 volt again. I've replaced this 8.2k. It had a carbon composition resistor there, it had gone high. So as you see, all these components I've used are sort of the original ones. The pots I've had to replace two of the pots because one was a 2.2 meg, one was a 500k, so they played around with the values of the pots as you saw on the part 1 video. So I've used Allen Bradley pots, original type 1s. This one's 1 meg the base, 25k the middle, 250k the treble. Of this third socket that had been put in, that was being used for a line out. I've just wired it to the speakers, so you can use 3 cabs if you're careful with the impedance. At the moment it's configured for 16 ohm. It's wired, hardwired around the back of the socket because the little plug's missing. I've also put in the blanking plate for the added tube. So when powering these on, there's a certain procedure. You've got to be careful. Some techs use a lamp to limit the current. I've got a variac which I can very, very carefully watch the current consumption. So for the first time we'll switch it on, and you'll note that the output's at 0, so there's no voltage coming out of the variac. The amp's switched on, it's in standby, and I can turn the variac up and I can watch the right hand meter for any abnormal current consumption, and we've only got about 40 volts AC going in. The amp's configured for 240 volts. You might be able to tell by my accent I'm in the UK. So at that we need to check that we have a negative voltage on all 4 output tube grids. Now it'll be low at the moment because we've only got 40 volts going in, but see, we've got minus 16.24, and on the other set of grids we've got the same more or less. We can check that right up to the tube bases, and we're good. We're good. So we can now advance the variac a little more, and we're watching for, again, the right hand meter, and we've got 140 volts coming in now, and we can see that the bias is at 29 volts, so that's sort of in the ballpark. Now I can switch it on, bring it out of standby, and watch carefully for the right hand meter. It should kick as the cap's charge. You might have just seen it click. And at that, there should be sufficient filament voltage to get output. So I've got a signal generator plugged in. And it's come to life. No noisy well, that's not noisy. The middles, okay. Bass. Presence is doing its thing. So it's with just it's about 130 volts coming in. We have 300 volts B plus or HT and minus 29 volts bias supply. There's no hum or anything. Just a nice pleasant hiss when you turn the gain up, the volume up, the treble, and so on. If the amp was in trouble, if there was problems, it would let me know. There'd be hum or oscillations or whatever. So I'm going to pause the video, and I'll do another video where I do the output, we'll whack it up to full voltage, and we'll measure the output and get it biased up. Thanks for watching.